Hello, I hope you're well. First things first, you may have noticed there's been a bit of a break since the last class. The reason being is my little baby girl had a bit of an accident. So we've been in and out of hospital and I've been somewhat distracted by all of that. So luckily she is recovering well. But and when I looked at the dates and the timing, I thought, well, it's a bit like we've had a summer holiday, September, we're starting afresh. So yeah, let's just see it as a little break and now we're back to it again. And so if you haven't been practicing since the last video, but I'm just as guilty really, I haven't done much at all. So I'm definitely feeling the need for a good stretch. So yeah, you can join me today and we will ease ourselves back into it a little bit with a little bit of challenge in there as well. So I'm going to be definitely putting pigeon in, loosen off those hips, start to get a good stretch through that area, and we will be maybe doing dolphins. I'll see how I feel. Okay, so let's crack on. So sitting nice and tall, lift through your core, roll the shoulders back and take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Feel free to close your eyes during this moment or throughout the whole practice if that's what is nice for you and you're happy doing that. Just bring all your awareness to yourself right now and how you're feeling. Maybe it's first thing in the morning, maybe you're squeezing a class in the middle of the day, or it's one of the last things you do before you go to bed. So however you make these classes work for you, just take some time to detach from your day and any thoughts you may have that may be distracting you. If you notice you start to slouch back down again, just bring it back up. Lift up, imagine that piece of string tied to the top of your head. Nice, easy breaths. And we'll start with simple neck stretches. So we'll start keeping the spine lifted, right ear to right shoulder, gentle pressure on the side of the head. Back to center, and then left ear to left shoulder, gentle pressure. And back to center, and then chin to chest, gentle pressure on the back of the head. Keep that spine lifted here. And back to center. Okay. So we're going to start by stretching our wrists and our hands and our forearms. So we'll start with the left arm out. And just use the right hand just to apply gentle pressure to the fingers. So you're getting a nice stretch all the way down the forearm and through your hand. And then we'll do the other side. So right hand and using the left hand to draw the fingers back gently. And release. Give wrists a nice rotation, loosen them off, reversing direction. And then we'll interlink our fingers and reach up as we take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out through the nose, release the hands and let them fall back to the floor. Okay. Let's go into sun salutations. It just feels so long since I've done one. It actually has only been a couple of days, but in this setup it's been a bit longer. So coming to the standing position at the top of your mat, feet hip width apart, spread the toes. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose as you bring palms to chest. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathing out, hands to the mat, bend your knees here. Breathing in, take the right leg back, drop the knee, relax the foot and open up the chest. Holding the breath to plank position. And breathing out, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Pushing from the toes, breathe in, scoop up. Curl the toes, breathe out, hips to ceiling. Breathing in, right leg forward, drop the left knee. Breathing out, left leg forward into the forward fold, so keep the knees soft. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. And breathing out, palms to chest. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Breathing in, left leg back, drop the knee. Hold the breath to plank position. And breathing out, knees, chest, forehead to the mat. Breathing in, scoop up. Curl the toes, breathe out, hips to ceiling. Breathing in, left leg forward, drop the right knee. Breathing out, right leg forward into the forward fold. Breathing in, hands to ceiling. Breathing out, palms to chest. Okay, so we're going to go into a forward fold again. So breathing in, reach the arms up. And as you breathe out, reach forward and down into the forward fold. So, as always, legs are straight, but don't lock the knees. Keep a softness in the knees here. And it really doesn't matter how far down you can get. So whether you can touch the floor, whether you've got your hands fully rested on the floor, whether you're hanging a few feet away from the floor, it really doesn't matter. It's where your body is at right now. There's no point criticising yourself for not being flexible enough, which is the absolute classic, oh, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible enough. That's why we do yoga. It helps us and we meet ourselves where we are. So planting the hands down, we'll take the right leg back into runner's lunge. So making sure you've got the left knee above the left ankle and the back leg is straight. So you're engaging your right foot here. You might be getting a nice stretch through the toes. You might be feeling, you probably are feeling a really good stretch down the front of your right hip crease. Opening up the chest here and continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. Paying attention to relaxing any tension you may have in your facial muscles or shoulders. So we're going to plant the right knee down on the floor. Be careful with your balance here as you bring your torso up. Then as we breathe in, take the arms up into warrior arms, so palms facing inwards. And as you breathe out, dropping the hips forward to a point where you're comfortable enough. So you're getting that stretch down the right hip, but you're not overdoing it. The shoulders are drawn down, but arms are straight. Nice easy breath as you ease into the stretch here. Breathing in, bring the weight back. You can steady yourself with your hands as you slide back onto your right heel. Left leg is straight here and the feet are flexed. You're feeling a stretch all the way down the back of the left leg. So good hamstring stretch here. If you want to get a little bit more of a stretch, feel like the lower back is just moving forward a little bit. Tiny little movement really increases the stretch you get there. Okay, we'll take the weight forward again, plant the hands down. We'll take the left leg back into downward facing dog. So give it a nice pedal out here if you wish. I mean, I say if you wish, because you might just want to have your feet still. You've got your hips drawn up and backwards so the weight is even between your hands and your feet. And then we'll bring the right leg forward into runner's lunge. So again, check the knee to ankle, opening up the chest here, feeling that stretch this time down the front of your left hip crease. Relaxing your facial muscles. If your mind wanders during the practice, just bring it back to your breathing and awareness of how your body is feeling in the poses we're in or in the movements we're in. So this time we'll plant the left knee down, bringing the torso up as you stay balanced. So breathing in, bring the arms up into warrior arms. And as you breathe out, dropping the hips forward to a point that's increasing the stretch for you, but not overdoing it. So breathing, bring the weight up, and again, steady yourself if you want to. As we slide back onto our left heel, this time flexing the right foot to get the stretch down the back of the right leg. And then we'll bring the weight forward, plant the hands down, this time right leg back into downward facing dog. Give it a nice pedal out again if you wish. I've done a few hikes lately and my legs are definitely feeling the need for this workout today. Good stretch session. Okay, so we'll come down onto our knees. Oop, hair's going crazy. And we'll take a little rest in child's pose. So forehead on the mat and arms resting by your side. Remember, you can take the knees nice and wide here if you wish. If that's more comfortable for you to get down. I remember when I was pregnant, it was brilliant because there was somewhere for the bump to go, so that was quite handy. This is not the right hair tie back for the class today. So if you want to slowly make your way up to a seated position. Okay, we're going to go on to all fours. We're going to do a little bit of cat-cow. Get a nice stretch through the back, loosen the spine somewhat here. So your hands are hip width apart, as are your knees. Wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. And then as we breathe in, head and tailbone up. So you're stretching all the way around the front of your body. And then as you breathe out, arch the back, tuck the head and the tailbone under. And just continue at the pace of your breath. And feel free to close your eyes here if you really want to deepen the experience. And have more awareness of how your body feels, how the spine is feeling as you're flexing. Bring it back to neutral. And then we're going to do hippos. So the hip opener, starting with the right knee. So nice big circles. And reverse direction. Stay nice and strong in your arms and your shoulders. So really engaging the shoulders, not collapsing into them. And back to neutral, and then we'll do the other knee, so the left knee. And reverse direction. neutral. And then we're going to walk the hands forward and we're going to go into plank because now we're going to go into pigeon. So the plank is the transition into pigeon, if you remember. So making your way into plank. And then we'll start with the right knee. So right knee to right elbow. Cross the foot over and place the right knee just behind the right wrist. Dropping the left knee to the floor and extending that leg. And then sitting nice and tall. Getting your hips in the position where you're feeling the stretch in the outside of your right hip. That said, you might actually have more tension in your left front hip here. And that might be where you're feeling more of the work happening. That might be feeling like a limitation for you, but it's not, it's just what your body needs right now. So if you've rolled one way too much or the other, try and bring your hips pretty square, but get them to a place where you're getting the stretch where you really need it. And remember, use the breath here. So if it feels really tight and it gets more tight as we make our way down, don't overdo it, but use the out breath to relax any tension. Your body starts going into a fight or flight mode, and then you're really fighting against it. Whereas if you use the breath, you're communicating with your nervous system and saying, trust me, it's okay, relax. So you don't want to overdo it, but you want to relax your body and ease into it. So on that note, let's make our way down onto our elbows. You might feel the stretch increase here. Keeping those hips nice and square. And then if you're comfortable doing so, drop the forehead to the mat and extend the arms out in front of you. Okay, so we'll slowly make our way back onto our elbows and then back onto our hands. And this time bending the left knee, hold the ankle on the outside with a quad stretch on the left thigh. So if you can't reach your ankle, then just leave your foot down. Don't overdo it, otherwise it's just hanging there. And release the foot, plant the hands down. Take the right leg up to the ceiling, give it a good shake. And back into downward dog for a nice little stretch. Before we bring the weight forward into plank, and do the other side. So left knee to left elbow, cross the foot over and place the left knee just behind the left wrist. Drop the right knee to the floor, extend the right leg, and get yourself into a position where you're really feeling that stretch where you need it. So you might start to become aware that one side feels different to the other. That's totally fine. And then slowly make your way down to your elbows. And again, if you're comfortable doing so, forehead on the mat, extend the arms. And use the breath to ease into this stretch. Okay, so we'll slowly make our way back to our elbows, back to our hands, and this time bending the right knee, holding the ankle for the quad stretch. And release the foot, plant the hands down, this time left leg up, give it a good shake and drop back into downward dog. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work on our backs now. So if you want to, you can just flop down onto your belly. Or if you're wanting more of a challenge, coming into plank and then lowering yourself down to the ground with control as best you can. Okay, so your ankles are together, toes pointed. Your hands are palms face down near your shoulders, elbows tucked in, and we're going to go into Cobra. So keeping the elbows tucked in as we breathe in, raise the hands and the chest and the head off the floor. Keep those elbows tucked in because it draws the shoulders back so you're not hunching over and causing tension in your shoulders. And as much as it's tempting to do so, avoid letting your feet come off the floor. So you're working your lower back section here, increasing your core strength. So continue to breathe, release any tension in your face, your fingers. Smile at the cat or whoever is around you. Last little bit, see if you can raise a little bit higher. And we'll slowly make our way down into Crocodile. So Crocodile, either arms as a pillow or arms by your side. And big toes together and ankles dropped out to the side. So a full resting pose here, release any tension. Just ease yourself into the mat. Okay, we're going to go into one of my favourites, King Penguin. One of the ones I made up the name of because I think it's cooler. So legs are straight, around hip width apart. Arms by your side, palms facing inwards. And then keeping your arms and your legs straight as we breathe in. Lift your arms and your legs and your head and your chest off the mat. And we will hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, keep breathing here, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest again in Crocodile. Big toes together, ankles dropped out to the side. Okay, so we'll finish our tummy work or laying down work with bow pose. So bending the knees, holding the ankles. If you can't reach the ankles or this is as far as you can go, that's absolutely fine. Work with your limitations. If you can't reach your ankles, then maybe just try lifting your chest up again and feeling the stretch that way. If you can reach your ankles and your game, try and keep your knees parallel, so in hip width apart, so they don't wander out too far. And then as we breathe in, lifting up as high as you can, opening the chest and holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Good work. Plant the hands down, slide back into extended child's pose. So keeping those arms extended so you feel a good stretch all down your back here. And again, you can open your knees if that makes this position more comfortable for you. We're going to just spider walk our fingers over to the right, so off the edge of the mat, if that's where you're going to go to. And then bending your fingers on the left hand, so you're on your fingertips. So a really nice stretch down the left side of your body. Just take some nice, easy breaths here in and out through the nose. And then we'll spider walk back to centre, and then over to the left side. And again, bending your right hand so you're on your fingertips. Really good stretch down the right side here. And then we'll spider walk back to centre. And then very slowly unfurling. So push through the spine as you make your way up into a seated position. So no need to rush it. And then when you're up, rolling those shoulders back. I think I'm going to let you get away without doing dolphin today. Lucky jammers, next time we will though. So bending the knees, rolling back. That's crossing the legs over, rolling back. And then we're going to be coming towards the end of the practice now. So just to give you the heads up, if you want to stay in a relaxation and do your own meditation, then feel free to do so. You might want to pause the video, otherwise it will take you to the next video. And that will just interrupt you, that'll just be rude. So if that's what you wish to do, I will be able to leave you and you can do that. But for now, we're just going to do a couple more bits before we finish. So making your way down onto your back, keeping your knees bent, easy for me to say. I'm going to go into half bridge, so drawing the heels close enough so you can just touch them with your fingertips. So resting your arms so your palms are face down. And then as we breathe in, raising the hips up and taking the weight back onto your shoulders here. So keeping your knees in line with your hips, stopping them from wandering out too much. And if you want, you can interlink your fingers behind your back. It helps tuck your shoulders in a little bit more, and you can raise up a little bit more through your hips. So you're feeling your thighs working, your glutes, and even your lower back. Take some nice deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. And then releasing your hands, very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, making your way down. And when your hips touch the floor, we're going to hug it out in air releasing pose. So knees to chest, nose to knees, unless you've got neck issues, in which case keep your head rested down. Avoiding the temptation to cross your feet over. Just hug it in nice and tight. And if you want, gently rock side to side to release any tension in your lower back. And then making your way down, so resting your head on the mat, extending the legs all the way down, extending the arms, full body stretch here. And then resting your arms by your side and preparing for the relaxation that you want to do today. So if you want to lay in Shavasana, laying there with your legs hip or mat width apart, and just let your feet relax out to the side. Arms by your side with palms facing up, and just let your fingers naturally curl. Tucking your shoulder blades under, getting yourself nice and comfortable. And gently closing your eyes. Feeling the sensation in your body of the work we've been doing today. Taking some nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. Having awareness of how your breathing may have changed since the start of the practice. And if you want to do a simple relaxation, just continue to focus on your breath and the way your tummy rises with the inhale and falls with the exhale. So using the exhale to release any tension you may have still. You may want to scan your body and consciously relax all the different parts of your being. And if your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath. Feel free to stay in relaxation for as long as you want to. This practice is a time for you. And whenever you're ready, just squeezing your fists, your feet, your facial muscles, your whole body, just one big squeeze. And relax. And whenever you're ready, slowly rolling onto your right side and resting there just for a moment. And when you're ready, very carefully making your way to a seated position. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the class. You've enjoyed being back on the mat, I know I have. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you.